Good morning everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Those who are watching my channel first time are requested to subscribe the channel to get the new videos. Today I am going to discuss with you a poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. It's a 10th class poem written by Leslie Norris. Leslie Norris was born in 1921 and died in 2006. He was a Welsh poet and his childhood was full of sufferings, but his determination brought fruit and he became a famous poet. His creations won him many prizes. In the present poem, the poet shows the agony and helplessness of a tiger that is imprisoned in the cage by human beings. He has to live in a zoo. Let's read and find out through first stanza what the poet wants to say. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rays. The words meaning are written. Stalks means follows, vivid means bright colored, pads paws of tiger, and rage means anger. So the poet wants to convey that the tiger has to walk in the cage that has been given to him, and he walks in the cage with his color combination, because we know that a tiger has a color combination of yellow and black on his body. So with that color combination, with the stripes the tiger has on his body, he walks few steps in the cage on the pads of velvet quiet, using his soft pads, in the cage in his quiet rays, and he is in anger, but his helplessness forces him to be quiet because he can't do anything. Let us know the literary device used in the stanza. First, rhyme scheme. This present poem has a rhyme scheme abcb, because case and raise are rhyming words in the present poem, so in the whole poem the same rhyming skill will be followed. Personification is the literary device that has been used here, because the tiger is considered as a human being and he pronoun has been used for the tiger. Metaphor is also there, because a comparison has been made between the tiger's paws and velvet, means softness has been compared. Then enjambment has been used in the present stanza, because a sentence continues without having any punctuation mark in second and third line also. Imagery has been used by the poet, because imagination of the poet can be visualized by the readers. Then consonance is used. Consonance is the literary device in which we find the repetition of a consonant sound. For example, S has been repeated in stalks, his, and stripes. The difference between alliteration and consonance is that in alliteration we find the repetition of the letter in 2-3 words and in the beginning, but in consonance the sound can be used in the beginning, middle, or end of the given word in a sentence. Assonance has been also used. It is the repetition of vowel sound in a given line, and I has been repeated in his vivid stripes. Oxymoron, the literary device, has been used in the present stanza. Oxymoron is a literary device in which we use two adjectives having opposite meanings. For example, quite, raise. Both the words are opposite in meaning, but the poet has used to show his to create the effect of the poem on the readers. Other examples of the oxymoron we can say, for example, bitterly sweet. In this way, this is example of oxymoron. Let's move to the next stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. In this stanza, the poet has imagined the tiger in its natural habitat, that is jungle. He says, had the tiger been in the jungle, he should be lurking, he should be hiding himself in the long grass, waiting for the plump deer to pass, to come there to have water, because the animals have to reach to the water hole to have water, and the tiger hides himself in the long grass in order to attack on its prey. So the poet wants to say that this will be the situation had the tiger been in its natural habitat. Let's again see the literary device used in the stanza. The same rhyme scheme, that is A, B, C, B, has been used here. Enjambment is used because in the same way a sentence continues in 3-4 lines without having punctuation mark. Alliteration, the use of sound P at the start of two words, for example, plump, pass. So alliteration is used. Imagery again has been used by the poet to help us visualize the real picture of the tiger. In next stanza, he should be snarling around houses at the jungles as baring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. Again, the poet wants to tell, had the tiger been in its natural habitat, he should have been snarling near the houses which are at the edge of the jungles, and showing its white fangs, showing its white teeth and claws, and by doing so he will be able to terrorize the people. This will be his life in his natural habitat, but he is forced to live a life in the case that is quite opposite to his natural life. Now literary devices used in the stanza are rhyme scheme, same A, B, C, B. Again enjambment is there, onomatopoeia is there. Try to understand it. Onomatopoeia is a literary device that is used to show the sounds. For example, snarling sound. It is a sound that is created to warn the people by the animal. Again assonance is there. O and I sound are repeated. Should, around, houses. In this O in should, around in O, and houses again O sound is repeated. Then bearing, his, white, his. I sound has been repeated in this stanza. Again consonance is there because the repetition of S sound can be seen clearly. Let us move to the next stanza. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his case, ignoring visitors. Concrete means building made of bricks, cement, sand and water. A mixture of all these things is considered as concrete. The writer wants to tell us that the tiger is imprisoned in a concrete cell that is very powerful. Although the tiger has its own strength, but that strength has been behind the bars. He is helpless, he can't break the concrete cell to get himself freed from the Jew, and he is stalking, he is walking to the length of his gaze, and he has started ignoring the visitors. He doesn't want to pay attention to the visitors who come to see him, but in helplessness he just ignores them and keep on walking in the case that has been provided to the tiger. Let's read the literary device. Again, rhyme scheme, same rhyme scheme has been used. A, B and CB, bars and visitors are the rhyming words. Personification has been used in the present poem, in the present stanza, because the tiger has been personified as a human being and pronoun he has been used for him. Assonance is there because repetition of vowel sound E has been found. He locked concrete cell. So E sound is prominent in these words. Assonance has been used. Then again consonants, the consonant sound and S is used again and again. His strength, bars. Alliteration is used because behind bars we can see the repetition of B sound in these words. In the next stanza, the poet says, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Patrolling means to guard or to have a vigilance. So he hears, the tiger hears the last voice that comes from the patrolling cars of the police, and he stares with his brilliant eyes. He just keeps staring with his brilliant eyes at the patrolling cars, not at the patrolling car but at the brilliant stars. He just keep on watching with his brilliant eyes the brilliant stars. So a comparison has made between the brilliant of the eyes of the tiger and the brilliance of the stars. Let us again see the literary device. Rhyme scheme same, A, B, C, B has been used. Enjambment has been used. Alliteration, use of H in the starting of the two words he hears. So alliteration is there. Assonance is there because I sound is repeated in the words with, his and brilliant. In the last, the poet wants to say that he is helpless and he can't do anything. He just keep on watching what is going on and always shows his desires to go to his natural habitat and to live a practical life there, but human beings have forced him to live a life of shell and to live a life of imprisonment. It is a bad idea according to the poet, because keeping the animals in the cage is a crime, and we must keep it in mind. And also those who are weavers who go to the zoo to enjoy watching the animals, they must try to understand the mental state of the animals. I hope the message has been conveyed to all of us the poet wants to give. I think the poem will be clear to all the listeners and all the persons who will watch my video, and everything will be clear. The students will be able to understand and answer the questions that will be asked in the exams. Thank you for listening me. Thank you for watching me. Keep on watching my videos and keep enhancing your knowledge.